stand-up for both competitors so far.
Harrison kind of lunges for that shot. I think almost trying to get a reaction more than really going for the takedown.
A little expression out of Jake there. A little respect.
And Jake has shown some interesting strategy trying to get his opponent's heads earlier in this tournament. I would not be surprised to see if this match extends past a few minutes, that you start seeing more talking coming from Jake and really trying to get in Harrison's head as well. Nice upper body kick.
Beautiful takedown.
Jake with a really good job countering that and getting him in a top position. And this is a position he's employed quite a bit. It's very hard to attack from here. He's very hard to create angles on. It kind of frustrates opponents. So I'm interested to see if Harrison opts to play from the close or if he tries to open and create his position.
Sure.
Because if we watched his last match against Nick Creighton, Jake just kind of shut Nick's offense down from here. He did not allow Nick to do a lot of work. And that's when he started talking, muffling him, getting into his head. So expect the same. And Jake's head's low, handstand inside. He pummels back in. As I say that, Harrison does a great job creating that angle of attack. Nice foot sweep attempt. Another foot sweep attempt. Violent foot sweeps. Harrison looking for that snap down. Nice shot in there by Harrison. Jake's in on the neck. This is tight. Harrison able to pull his head out. Confident.
Harrison able to hit that double leg from a little bit more downtown.
Now switch the position we saw earlier. Harrison's the one on top. Now in Jake's closed guard.
Get an opportunity to see what Jake's guard looks like here.
Harrison kind of in a knee cut position, floating over, going side to side, side smash back to knee cut. It's a beautiful switch.
Really heavy with that crossface right off the bat, making Jake, I'm sure, very uncomfortable in this position.
And now it cleared that inside elbow, which is a huge thing. Makes it much harder for him to escape. You can put a lot more pressure and extended. Looking for the forearm. Jake does a good job of trying to turn and face, getting that inside hook in. Back exposure by Harrison, but Jake reframes, comes back to set. Jake's able to wedge a knee back in, not fully back to the half guard. Harrison just walks to the north-south. Just doing a really nice job moving side to side, keeping away from Jake's guard.
Potential north-south opportunity here. North-south choke. Ooh, nice recovery.
Jake pops those hips back to get to closed guard, or to a full guard, I should say.
Good blend from a hip switch right to that knee cut. Very nicely done.
Harrison's passing's looking very strong. At the same time, I think Jake is not particularly trying to hold him in guard.
Sure.
I think he's, again, being very smart in his defensive strategy and where he's using energy. I don't think he's really trying to attack much from the guard because he feels Harrison's passing's in a good spot. He's almost conceding to, like, stay safe, get to a side control where he's not feeling that threatened. Again, the strategy of watching Jake in the earlier matches, I wouldn't be surprised if his goal is just to make Harrison use a lot of energy and, again, get to the OT, unless he can find an opening.
There he is again, a good blend of the hip switch right into the knee cut. He's able to use that hip switch to beat the knee shield. It's a very...
Now, with this head and arm position, he had there. Harrison's corners said the same thing we've been saying. I think he's just letting him pass to let him use energy. Jake's using just enough to stay safe, just enough to not be in a submission. Harrison has to be smart and not giving him too much energy. We're halfway through.
hops to the mount, potentially might lose the position here.
And that's where, like, when Jake almost gets in a really bad position, so he uses that energy and that, and he kind of gets back to his comfort. Now here's jumping out ahead. This is a different position now. And Jake's able to get back to that guard.
It's the third time now we come back to that headquarters, backstep, knee cut. Harrison's knee cut in this passing's looking really
He looks so smooth in that top position. So Harrison again, just a nice side control. But again, not a lot you can do if Harrison can't get the arms away or get hit the head and arm control. Jake doing a really good job of knowing where to be safe and when to be safe. And I think he's trying to frustrate Harrison, give him a little daylight, and then he tries to force something and he skips out.
So Jeff, you had mentioned earlier about how Jake was most likely trying to approach a little bit of a tougher game, trying to wear his opponents out, maybe trying to take an OT. In a scenario where he's not able to apply that pressure, what kind of strategy do you think might be a more successful option for him there?
I don't know. I just think he's doing the same thing. I think he's just literally basically hoping his opponents make mistakes and creating openings. If not, he just wants to get to overtime, and he's confident in his overtime.
Yeah, he seems very comfortable with his defense here.
Yeah, he just knows if he doesn't overextend himself, it's going to be hard to submit him.
Sure.
And he hopes his opponent gets frustrated and wants to force things. Again,
defending the pass a little bit more this time.
Yeah. And I think that this kind of strategy sometimes is it's a way to game the system a little bit. Like, not that it doesn't take skill to defend and escape, but I think he's really smart in that he wants to make sure he pull guys into the game he wants to play, and win or lose, he's going to decide that.
Sure.
We've had a few really, really tough competitors over the years. Finishers do the same. Sam Barbosa comes to mind, winning a bracket with some of the elite world-class talent by just forcing them into overtime and being better in overtime than them.
Sure.
See, that perfect example. Jake didn't use a lot of energy, and then we almost got mounted. Then he used an explosive movement to get out, and then he gets comfortable back here. Just a very, very kind of deliberate use of energy, deliberate use of his offense and his defense. Even here, he's wedging his right arm in, so Harrison really can't threaten the darts fully because his hands are locked. Harrison's going to kind of try to force it a little bit.
He's still committing, yeah.
Again, that's what I think Jake wants. He wants Harrison to force some attacks, use his energy to try to end the regulation, so that when we get to overtime, he has more in the tank.
Looks like we're going to do a reset to the center.
Sometimes as that top athlete, it gets in your head, because if your opponent's not giving you that energy back, and you're dominating the fight, but you're knowing that it's like you're not winning on points, you can't win by points, it's like...
It breaks your confidence a little.
Yeah, it makes you think, like, what should I do here? Because I don't want to sell out and then get tired, but then how else am I going to win this fight? So you can play kind of mental tricks on your opponent.
Yeah, Harrison's still looking really composed with his overall demeanor after the amount of control that he's put into this match. There we go. Big explosion from Jake, a nice knee to the face. That didn't look too nice.
The interesting thing about this match will be Harrison's back control looks so good. His back escapes look so good against Kevin that pulling him to overtime may not be the best situation.
That's a very good point.
I mean, if that's your game plan going in, you're going to kind of have to stick with it. But Harrison showed world-class EBI movement in that last round. Again, Kevin is a phenomenal EBI player, and he was able to win that exchange, both escaping and attacking. So now a little smother option here. This is a good way to kind of reverse the energy system. Because even if you don't get the smother, this makes it hard for Jake to breathe. Sure. It's going to be annoying.
Yeah, Harrison was able to get to good side control in the on belly earlier, but he wasn't able to secure a good mount position. This is going to be...
We have 1 minute left in our regulation. So again, this comes down to this situation. Does Harrison want to use a lot of energy trying to finish Jake, or does he want to kind of coast and get ready for an OT? Looks like he wants to finish, which I don't think is a bad idea. But again, that energy expenditure late in a match when you're going to go into an overtime with no break can be a very, very dangerous game.
Sure.
With 30 seconds left, I would probably just, as I say it, he creates that exposure. But Jake, again, strong defense.
But he gets a little bit deeper on the mount, it seems.
I think this is a smart strategy. Now just kind of cook him here for the last 15, 20 seconds of the match. Make him carry your weight, put a little smother pressure in, mess with his elbows.
100%.
There's the smother.
There it is. Nice grapevine.
Jake just hanging out, waiting for the time to go. And there it is. We're going to OT. This is a real war of attrition. Every match with Jake is just that. He's going to make you earn any win or any position.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this OT goes now.
Yeah, like I said, Harrison's OT has looked incredible, but Jake has as well. And or near the conjecture on whose hands are where.
Yeah, a little bit more of a mutual agreement in this one.
Yeah. And that shows you some confidence in Jake that he's just willing to let the hands be there as long as he gets his base defense. That shows somebody who really believes in his back defense.
Sure.
Man, Harrison has such a good back control, and he really knows this game.
His ability to continue rotating when his opponent initiates that rotation is really, really clean.
Yeah.
Keeping that chest to back really, really tight.
He has a really nice, long legs for that body triangle. He stays with it. He gets his body going the same direction. He doesn't get out of alignment when his opponents roll.
He's getting a little off center here.
And Jake's able to get the leg in the middle as opposed to the outside of the hip, which gives him a better chance. But Harrison fixes it.
They switch over to the bottom side of the lock now, or excuse me, the lock being on the bottom side of the hip. It'll be a little bit easier for Jake to potentially disrupt the body triangle. He doesn't look to be actively trying to disrupt the body triangle right now. He looks to be just big rotation opportunity here.
Controlling the head. He's trying to pull Harrison through. But again, Harrison's so good from the back.
So impressive with him being able to keep that chest to back connection.
Yeah, and that's
constant readjustment.
And that's where he said pulling Harrison into this overtime is not necessarily the best strategy because Harrison's looked his overtime, both offense and defense, has looked rock solid. That was the closest Harrison got to anything. Jake just keeping that elbow up, almost asking for you to attack it so that he can try to explode out as you do.
Sure. Harrison's corner advocating for the submission with about a little bit over 30 seconds left here.
Yeah, with not much time left, it doesn't hurt because even if you wind up losing, you almost have a full ride at this point. And there's the full 2-minute ride. So let's see what Jake has on his offense against Harrison's defense. And Jake has been able to pull out these wins in OT, but now after giving up a full ride, and Harrison showing such high-level defense, this will be a very
very good start for Harrison there.
Jake gets the body triangle right away. Looking for that short choke again. Harrison defends well. And Harrison's almost out. He gets out.
Very good job by Harrison there. Jake had an incredibly tight body triangle.
I think he might have popped his ankle. I did not see what happened there.
Yeah, he had a super tight body triangle. My first initial guess is that he potentially injured his ankle with the pressure of the body triangle escape.
Yeah. Must be. Usually, I usually see that affecting your opponent's knee more than ankle.
Sure.
Either way.
Let's hope he's okay here.
Yeah, knowing the toughness Jake has showed, I don't think that's going to stop him. So a big ride time advantage after one OT for Harrison. So he can probably feel confident that he can open up a little bit more in this OT, knowing that he probably has at least a minute ride time advantage, a minute plus ride time advantage in that first OT.
Harrison gets right to that nice tight body triangle again. It's probably going to be a little bit more difficult for Jake to be able to bridge and use his hips a lot more if his ankle's caught.
Yeah, his ankle is really compromised, yeah. Nice thing as a competitor is it's not in your head. A lot of times you're not going to feel it as mad as you will 2 hours from now or next morning.
Sure. You can tell he's not planning it on the ground right now.
No. Maybe you'll see him opt to go for an armbar or something else as he, again, was winning the ride time battle.
continuing after a potential injury here. Harrison looking really good with his back control still.
Yeah, with Jake seeming a little bit compromised in his movement, I don't know if he's going to have an ability to escape this position. He's going to obviously have his ability to be able to defend with his upper body, as we've seen all day, but without being able to create, push from your foot, it's going to be much harder to finish an escape from here.
Still doing a really good job with rotating to make sure that he negates the choke, but is still having a tough time getting back to the mat. Looks like they're going to reset him back in the center here.
Yeah, before they hit the wall, good job by the ref now having to use the wall as a tool. Luckily, they're very sweaty, so they're just sliding across the mat.
Create a little snail trail across the mat.
So not much time left in this ride. Again, at this point, it's going to come down to can Jake submit Harrison, because with 2 full ride times, not even near a full ride time, Jake almost has to. I would think he has to go armbar here.
Yeah, let's see if he opts to. That'll be very interesting.
Because also the body triangle probably will be compromised with his foot. If his foot is really injured, it's going to be hard for him to play that.
Yeah, he doesn't look too happy about it.
And he does. Not surprised here, both because for the ankle and due to the time. This makes a lot of sense for Jake. We have not seen Harrison in the spiderweb. We saw his back. We know his back's great.
Sure.
So I'm assuming he's very well prepared. But again, sometimes this can be a kind of a chink in competitor's armor. Is Jake going to get it?
Wow. It looks like it's fully extended. It's gonna
Oh, that was
good
close.
defense from Harrison.
But now the time is just, If I were Harrison, I might try armbar here. There's nothing to lose. Maybe use less energy.
Sure.
Jake's foot is clearly bothering him. He might have broke that foot. I think he's going to go armbar. He is. So I think a smart choice. His back defenses look too good.
Harrison's corner advocating for going for the submission and being up on the right.
And even the foot here, it's going to be harder for Jake to arch up and come off the floor and create a base and stand up to get his arm out. So I think this is a smarter strategy.
He seems a little bit more comfortable putting some weight on it, but yeah, like you said, he's not going to be very explosive with it.
Not the way he was earlier in the day. Harrison may have it here. And he gets it. So Jake will have a chance. But he's going to have to get a quick submission, so here it's going to be an armbar. It's going to be the spider web with about 10 seconds left. Five seconds, so he has to basically 7 seconds. 17? Okay. 17 seconds, not 5.
Either way, still a
Either
very
short time.
amount of time.
Yes. It's going to be a quick, explosive movement. He's either going to get the sub or he's going to get the escape. Jake's got to go. He's going to go with that bicep slice arm crush. He's pulling. Time is getting short already. I don't think he's going to have time.
Jake really fighting for it here. He's really putting his foot on the gas.
And there's the time.
Harrison
Wood will be moving on to our finals with his submission in the OT. What a battle by Jake Straus.
Truly.
Hopefully his foot is not too